Hello everyone, in the part 4 of the NEET PG important questions, over here we will discuss about the important questions that may ask in the NEET PG exam. Now over here, before going into the questions, just make sure that you just go through the root of neck topic of the anatomy so that whenever you are discussing about the questions, so you will be easily able to answer them by yourself. So let's discuss about the questions over here. Just make sure that you just answer the questions by yourself and then I will of course give you the answers. So first of all, smallest of the scalene muscle is, it is the scalene posterior. Longest and the largest of the scalene muscle is the scalene medius muscle. Most superficial of the scalene muscle is, it is the scalene anterior muscle. Largest cervical sympathetic ganglion is the superior cervical ganglion. Which ganglion lies in the front of transverse process of C2 and C3 vertebrae? It is the superior cervical ganglion. Which ganglion lies in front of the transverse process of cervical number 6th vertebra? It is the middle cervical ganglion. Which ganglion lies in front of transverse process of the cervical number 7th vertebra? It is the inferior cervical ganglion. Now what are the boundaries of the scaleniovertebral triangle? Now over here, medially it is longus colli, laterally there is scalene anterior muscle, and at the base there is subclavian artery, there will be the first part of subclavian artery. Now what are the contents of the scaleniovertebral triangle? It is the first part of vertebral artery, thyrocervical trunk, and the inferior thyroid artery, and the stellate ganglion. Now what are the boundaries of the scalene triangle? Over here, remember at the base there is first strip, anteriorly there is scalene anterior muscle, and posteriorly there is scalene medius muscle. Which artery passes through the scalene triangle? Subclavian artery. Now what are the anterelations of the scalene anterior muscle? So over here, remember there are phrenic nerve, transverse and suprascapular artery, anterior jugular vein, subclavian vein, carotid sheath along with its content, that is the common carotid artery, internal jugular vein, and the vagus nerve. What are the posterior relation of the scalene anterior muscles? These are the subclavian artery, root of brachial plexus, cervical pleura, scalene medius muscle. Root value of the phrenic nerve is the C3, C4 and C5. Mainly it is considered C4, but we can consider C3, C4 and C5. Accessory phrenic nerve arises from, now this accessory phrenic nerve is actually a branch from the nerve to subclavus. Root value of accessory phrenic nerve is, it is C5. Now what is the location of the distribution of phrenic nerve? So over here, the diaphragm, diaphragmatic pleura, and the pericardium are the location of the distribution of the phrenic nerve. Now the longest prevertebral muscle, it is the longus cervicis, or we can say longus colli muscle. Second part of subclavian artery runs between the scalene anterior and the scalene medius muscle along with the lower trunk of brachial plexus. Branches of the first part of subclavian artery are vertebral artery, thyrocervical trunk, and the internal thoracic artery. Largest branch of first part of subclavian artery, it is the vertebral artery. Branches from the thyrocervical trunk are inferior thyroid artery, suprascapular artery, and the transverse scapular artery. Vertebral artery passes through the foramen transversarium of C1 to C6 cervical vertebrae. Shortest branch of subclavian artery is thyrocervical trunk. Costocervical trunk arises from the second part of subclavian artery on the right side. Remember, in some of the book it is given that from both the parts, that means from the first part and from the second part of subclavian artery, this particular costocervical trunk basically arises. But mainly from the Google, if you will check, then it is given the second part. So just remember, from the second part of subclavian artery on the right side, this particular costocervical trunk basically arises. Now the dorsal scapular artery is actually a branch of third part of subclavian artery. Branches of external carotid artery. Over here, just remember this particular diagram over here. It has many branches. The external carotid artery has many branches of it. So first of the anterior branch. Anterior branches are the superior thyroid artery, lingual artery and the facial artery. While the posterior branches of the ECA are the occipital artery and the posterior auricular artery. Medial branches is the ascending pharyngeal artery and terminal branches is the superficial temporal artery and the maxillary artery. So in spite of going on through this tough diagram, just remember this easy diagram to remember the all the branches of the external carotid artery. Now next is the most superficial part of subclavian artery is the third part of subclavian artery is the most superficial part of subclavian artery. Principal lymph node of the palatine tonsil. It is the jugulodigastric lymph node. Principal lymph node of tongue. It is the jugulo-omohyoid lymph node. Largest vein of neck. It is the internal jugular vein. Now which vein or sinus is actually drains into the internal jugular vein? Now it is the inferior petrosal sinus, facial vein, lingual vein, pharyngeal vein, superior and middle thyroid vein and the occipital vein actually drains into the internal jugular vein. The only unpaired lymph node in the neck cervical collar, it is the submental lymph node. So today up till here, we'll discuss about further question and the answer of the question of various further topics in our further videos. Thank you so much.